Hello everyone, welcome to DC Minds. In this video, we are going to learn to write a code or you will implement a function that will help us to add a node or data at the beginning of a linked list, that is front side of a linked list. So if you don't know the concept of linked list, you can watch my lecture on linked list. The link for that video is given in the description below. Now let's see how we can insert node at the beginning of a linked list. So initially we'll be given data like this and we'll be asked to create a linked list by adding all this data at the beginning. So initially we'll have empty linked list, something like this, and then we'll take this data and create a node and we'll add at the beginning. So what we'll take this 5 and create a node. So we'll create a node and now this will be the front. So because we have added only one node. Okay, next we'll take this 2 and we'll add at the beginning. So now this is the beginning and this is the end because there is only one node. Now we'll take this 2 and we'll add it here. So this was the beginning. Now this will become the front of the linked list. Similarly, we'll take 15 and we'll add. Next we'll take 13, we'll add. So if you see this, we have been added data at the front side of the linked list. So now this will become the beginning of the linked list. Suppose if we have one more data to add, we'll add front of this node. So each of this box is a node and it looks like this. This box is a node and it has two parts. One is data part and another is link part. This data part will contain these values and this link part will contain a address or pointer that will point to the next node. So this link part is containing the address that will point to this node. Okay, so to create a node we have to declare a structure like this, and this structure you will give the keyword struct and then node name, whatever name you want you can give, and then we'll take the member. In this case we want two things. One we want is data, another we want a link. So this link is of this type and it is a pointer because this is also a node and this link will contain address of the node. So that's why it is of type struct node. Okay, now let's write a code that will help us to perform this operation. So we have given this data and we have to create a linked list or by adding each of these data at the beginning. So to create a node we will write a code like this. This code will create a node that will have front pointer. So now it will create a node and it will have two part, and then we can add this value to this data part by using this code. So this code will add a data 5 at this location and this link will become null because there is a only one data as of now. So this is a linked list with one data. Next we'll take this 2 and then we'll add at the front of this. So to do that, what we'll do, we'll create one more node. We'll create one more node and we'll add this value. So we'll create one more node, which will have two parts again, and then we are adding this 2 to this data part and link will be null. Next thing is to do is we have to add this 2 at the front of this. So what we'll do, to do that we'll write code like this. So this is the node and we want to put this node at the beginning. So when we say this node link equal to front means this link part now will point to this front, and the front is nothing but this node. So what will happen, it will become linked list like this and then the front is pointing here. So front was pointing here. Now what we have to do, we have to make this front point to this new node because this is the beginning of this linked list now. So to do that we'll write code like this: front equal to node. So node is nothing but this newly created node. So node will be pointing here. So when we say front equal to node, what will happen? It will front will point here. So front will go from there and it will point here. So we have added 2 like this. Similarly, we can take this data 15 and create one more node like this, and we'll add the value like this, and then we can add this newly created node at the front of this linked list. So to do that, we'll write code like this. So again, this node link, this link will point to this front. This is the front. So it will be again node link equal to front. And to make this front point to this newly created node, we'll say front equal to node, because node is this 15 and this is the beginning. So we'll make this point to this newly created node. So similarly, we'll take this 13. So we'll take the 13 and we'll create a node, and then we'll add this 13 at the front of this. For that, we'll write like code like this. So this was the pseudo code. Now let's see the entire function that will help us to perform this addition of data at the beginning of linked list. So now this is the function, and we have to use this function to add this data at the beginning of the linked list. So this function is having a return type struct node, and its name is insert front, whatever the name you can give, and it takes 2 parameters. First is the pointer to the linked list, and next is the item will be nothing but this data that will be adding. Okay, so next, initially we'll have empty, the linked list will be empty, and this empty linked list can be represented using this code. So when we say front equal to null, means it will give you a empty node pointer. And now what we'll do, we'll take this 5 and create a linked list by adding this 5 at the beginning. So we'll call this function by passing 2 parameters. The front parameter, initially it is null, and next the data part. So this data will be pointed initially null, and this item will be 5. So what will happen, it will call this function and it will come at this line, and it will create a, this line will create a new node. It will create a new node, and it will add this item is nothing but this 5 that we are passing here. So item will be 5. It will add this 5 to the data part, and link will be null. So we'll get a node like this where data is 5 and node is null. So what will happen now, for next we'll check for null, front equal to null. So at the beginning this front is null because there was no node in the linked list, so it is null. So what will happen, this condition will become true and will return this newly created node. So this node is that we created is this node, so we'll return this node. So what will happen, this node, now this node that we are returning will be this, and this front will point to this node. Okay, so initially there was only one element, that's why this condition was true. Now what we'll do, we'll take this 2 and add at the front of this linked list with just one node as of now. So we'll take this 2, and again what will happen, one new node will get created, and this data part will be 2 and link will be null. And then again what will happen, this condition will be checked. So in this case the front is, now the front is pointing to some data, so it is not null, it is having some data, so it is not null, so this condition will be false, and next it will come to this line. So now we have created a new node that will point to this front. So the front is this 5. Okay, this is the front. Now we'll make this newly created node that we have created here point to this, so linked list will become like this. So this was the newly created node, and we made this link of this node that using this line of code point to this node. Similarly, we'll take this 15 and we'll make this newly created node that will create here point to this 2. Similarly, we'll take 13 and we'll make this newly created node that we created using this 13, this data, and point to this the front of the linked list, and then this will be front of this linked list. So this is a code written in C programming, CS style. Same thing we can do in C++. So this is C program. Basically, this is a C style function. Same thing we can do in C++ like this. So here, just instead of giving a struct node, you will just give the node, and here also same thing. This is the change here, and then same thing here, and here we'll create a node or allocate memory for a node using malloc in C, but in C++ we'll use new operator to do that, and rest of this operation will be same. Okay, so this is the function that will help us to add a node at the beginning or front of a linked list. Okay, so in next video we'll learn to add a node at the end or rear of side of the linked list. So what will happen, initially there will be some linked list that is empty, and what we have to do, we have to take this 5, we have to add at the end. So what will happen, we'll take 5 and we'll create a linked list, then we'll take 2 and we'll add at this ends, then we'll add 50, we'll take 15 and we'll create a node and add at this, and similarly we'll take 13, we'll add at the end of the linked list. So this operation, for this operation we'll write a code in next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. If you have any doubt, please comment it. If you feel this video will be helpful to your friends and colleagues, please share with them.